Eh, may sulat kamay sila eh. Paano tatakutin ng PAW? Dinabutan lang sila. Ay, nagiging style bulok na ng ibang mga nagdapit-dapit na pagka gustong mag-recant, tuturo si PAW.
June Torres, the Executive Director of NTF-ELCAC. So before we call on our next resource speaker, as mentioned by Yusek Torres, we're going to play the videos containing the interviews, TV or radio interviews on PAW Chief Attorney Persida Acosta, and of course the stepfather of Jed Tamano, si Enrique Manalastas po. And also I'd like to ask muna the Secretariat, the tech team, to play independently yung interview kay Jonilla. Can we do that, please?
Sir, pumunta na po kami dun sa Marsden na may pumunta na po kami dun sa Marsden na may kapilala sa ng authorities. Hindi para po magpatulong ng patulong ng sumulit.
Ano din, may plan na kayo talaga na mag-surrender?
Dagdag pa rin kasi nabalitaan namin na wala na kami trabaho may ng RHP sa loob.
Nakagiri sa'yo ulit?
Linoblas ko man.
Nakailang taon ka doon?
Halos 2 years po, pero kasi may legal.
Si ano? Ganun din. Sumapa ka rin? Estudyante ka rin? Natatapos mo ba? Ay, siya yung estudyante bago ka sumapa?
Okay, and now we play the interviews. Meron pa pala. Sorry. Sige, play that one.
Jonilla at Jed Tamayo. Nabasa niyo po yung mga salaysay niyo. Nakasan ko yun. At tinanong paano sa akin na ito ay usang loob nyo sinasabi at walang namilit sa inyo. Kayo po at ito ay puro katotohanan na lamang po ito. Sabi po dahil nakasabi dito ay puro katotohanan at kapag nagsinungaling kayo ito ay pwede kayong makasuhan. So dahil nanumpa kayo sa akin, sige po, mag-firma na lang po yung mga salaysay.
Ayan po, habang pinipirmahan yan, if I may take note lang, Yusek June, andon yung parents ni Jed Tamano, yung pong nasa likod ay ang nanay at ang kanyang stepdad.
At kung may dagdag ko lang, Mr. Moderator,
Go ahead, sir.
Natin yung yung mga magulang ni Jed at nabanggit niya sa akin na yung handwritten affidavit at saka tong computer printed affidavit, ilang beses niyang tinanong yung mga bata kung meron silang gustong baguhin doon, kung talagang galing sa kanilang puso yung mga nakasulat doon, and they said yes. Yan yung binanggit sa atin ng stepdad ni Jed Tamano.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Tech team, now Yusek June will proceed with the showing of the interviews.
Sa pagpirma po nila ng statement nila sa PAW, nandun din po kami. Ilang beses namin silang tinanong kung meron kayong gustong baguhin. Wala silang sinasabi. Ang sabi nila, okay daw, tama raw yung statement. Sabi ko rin sa anak ko, gusto mo kumuha tayo ng sarili nating abogado? Sabi niya, hindi na kailangan, okay na yung PAW. Nakailang beses pa po kaming nagtanong kay Jed. Sabi namin, anak, kailangan ba nating baguhin yung statement nyo? Kailangan ba nating kumuha ng sarili nating abogado, hindi na PAW? Ang sabi nila, hindi. Tama naman po yung statement na yan na sinabi namin.
So, sa puntong yan, may sulat kamay sila Paano tatakutin ng PAW? Inabutan lang sila. Nagiging style bulok na ng ibang mga nagda-apidabit na pagka gustong mag-recant, tuturo si PAW. Kabayan, kawawa naman yung mga PAW natin.
So, pero nung dumating ho ang ating PAW lawyers, meron ng affidavit.
Merong written na sila. Written, sulat kamay nila.
Oo nga ho. Pero hindi ho kaharap ang abogado natin nung ginagawa yung written statement na yan.
Hindi. Hindi kaharap. Kaya nung dumating siya, yun nga daw, kailangan requirement. Talagang may requirement. Tiniyak niya na yung laman nitong sinulat kamay ay nasa puso nila. So, in-interview siya, ipinaulit niya yung mga sinasabi nila. Ano ba yung sinabing dyan? Kinukwento ng mga bata. Kaya nga, ang pakiramdam namin itong mga batang ito ay may kinakatakutan na baka may gumanti sa kanila. Kaya ganyan nag-recant.
Alright, thank you very much, Tech Team, for those videos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, malinaw naman po, ano? So, at least...
Siguro panggiting ko lang din, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Tinanong kanina ni Kabayan Noli kung yung handwritten affidavit ay i-prepare na pagdating ng PAW. Sabi niya, oo daw, no? Pero isa naman na tanungin yung contents dun sa mga bata. But aside from that, may witness pa po na pumirma doon. Nakita naman natin, Reynante Bautista. Siya po yung mayor ng Angat, Bulacan, if I'm not mistaken. Siya po yung mayor doon at siya yung nag-attest din doon sa mga bata. Initially, doon sa handwritten affidavit ng mga bata. And then eventually, vinalidate nung PAW lawyer in the region. So yun lang, dagdag information on the matter. Thank you, Moderator.
Okay, thank you, Yusek Jun Torres. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to call on Attorney James Clifford Santos, the spokesperson of the NTF-ELCAC's Legal Cooperation Cluster. And of course, NTF-ELCAC's as spokesperson on legal matters. So, Attorney James Clifford Santos, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Yusek, and thank you, Yusek Jun Torres, for the very comprehensive presentation. Good afternoon to our media friends and of course to the honorable officials of the NTF-ELCAC. Now, as an opening statement, I want to point out that yung nangyari po, it espouses three things. First, the demolition tactics of the CPP, NPA-NDF against the government, particularly the AFP, the NTF-ELCAC, and all of its partner agencies. We can see that this is a grand scheme to hoodwink the government, who is only concerned with the welfare of our returning rebels. And second, it undermines the efforts of Task Force Balikloob and the integrity of our ECLIP program, or the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program. And finally, the ultimate goal of this is to impair the trust of the public, the public's trust to the government. Now, I want to discuss yung the immediate remedy that we can resort to given this injustice caused by Jonila and Jed Tamano. Well, we can file a criminal case for perjury. And I want to explain this further. As ruled by the Supreme Court, there are 4 elements of the crime of perjury, and one by one, we will dissect this kung paano po magfo-fall dito sa case nila Jonila and Jed. The first element of perjury is the accused made a statement under oath or executed an affidavit upon a material matter. Well, this is a very obvious element because the two ladies here, they executed a sinumpaang salaysay before a PAW officer, a PAW lawyer who is authorized under the law to receive and administer oaths. And yung sa sinumpaang salaysay nila mismo, they have a statement here, and I quote, matapos makapanumpa ng naaayon sa batas ay malaya at kusang loob na nagsasalaysay. And second, the second element, the statement or affidavit was made before a competent officer authorized to receive and administer oaths. Lawyers are empowered under RA 9406 to administer and receive oaths in the performance of the regular course of duty. And the third element, the gravamen of the crime, this is important. The statement or affidavit, or in the statement or affidavit, the accused made a willful and deliberate assertion of a falsehood. Yusek Torres earlier quoted some of the salient points of their handwritten affidavit. This time, let me quote the pertinent paragraphs, where they expressly told and they expressly stated under oath that they were quote-unquote hinatid at sumuko sa mga otoridad. Let me quote first the statements made by Jed Tamano. In paragraph number 9 of her Sinumpaang Salaysay, she said, "Nakusang loob kaming sumuko sa mga otoridad dahil sa mga bantang kapahamakan at hirap na aming dinanas sa aming trabaho bilang mga nag-oorganisa." And this is followed by paragraph 10 where she said, "Nakusang loob kaming sumuko sa mga otoridad at hindi kami dinukot o hinuli ng kahit sino man at alam po ng aking mga magulang kung nasaan po ako ngayon." And finally, she said here in the last paragraph na sa ngayon kami ay mananatili muna sa kustodiya ng 70th Infantry Battalion ng Philippine Army sa DRT Bulacan para sa aming seguridad. At habang pinoproseso ang mga dokumento namin bilang mga former rebels alinsunod sa balik-loob program ng pamahalaan. Meanwhile, under the Sinumpaang Salaysay of Jonila Castro, she said here, under paragraph 19, September 12, 2023 ng umaga, hinatid kami ni Ate Bea. Itong si Ate Bea, ito yung person na kinontak nila na tutulong daw sa kanila to connect with the authorities. So she said here, hinatid kami ni Ate Bea sa pagkikitaan namin ng otoridad. Hindi na kami pinuntahan ng otoridad sa bahay ni Ate Bea dahil sa hiling niya na wag na doon mangyari ang pagkikita namin bilang pagprotekta sa kanyang seguridad. Followed by paragraph 20 where Jonila said na noong kami ay sumuko sa mga otoridad ay nagpakilala silang mga miyembro ng 70th Infantry Battalion ng Philippine Army at kami po ay dinala sa kanilang headquarters sa Pulong Sampaloc, Doña Remedios, Trinidad, Bulacan. So it is very clear from their respective sinumpaang salaysay na wala po talagang nangyaring pandudukot and malaya at kusang loob silang sumuko. Now, under the third element of the crime of perjury, the accused should make a willful and deliberate assertion of a falsehood. And the Supreme Court said that deliberately means meditated as distinguished from inadvertence. And clearly, yung sa nakita po natin sa September 19 press conference, nung bigla silang bumaligtad, it is tainted with malice to humiliate the government, the NTF, LCAC, and all of the partner agencies that are present there. And finally, the sworn statement. For the last element, the sworn statement containing the falsity is required by law or for a legal purpose. And we understand this na yung sinumpaang salaysay, they executed it as part of the overall proceedings dun nga sa kanilang pagbabalik loob and for their availment of the benefits under the ECLIP program. And I also want to zero in on the statement of Yusek Torres earlier that this is a betrayal of the legal system. Why is it so? Because it is a declared policy under the 1987 Constitution that the maintenance of peace and order, the protection of life, liberty, and property, and the promotion of the general welfare are essential for the enjoyment by all the people of the blessings of democracy. Yung policy po natin sa ECLIP and yung sa welcoming the rebels back into the folds of the law is in line with this declared policy of the Constitution. Accepting rebels back into the folds of the law through amnesty and providing them access to the government's existing socio-economic services, at yung sa ECLIP po natin, these are essential to attaining peace and reconciliation in the country and in line with the trust of the NTF-LCAC to promote lasting peace and development. I want to emphasize again yung sinabi ko po kaninang tatlong bagay, that this is a demolition tactics, and this is an undermining of the efforts of the Task Force Balikloob and the integrity of the ECLIP, with the ultimate goal to impair the trust of the public. So in a way, this is really a mockery of the declared state policy and principle as enshrined in the 1987 Constitution. So far, yun po muna yung mga sasabihin ko. Thank you po.
All right, thank you very much, Attorney James Clifford Santos, the spokesperson of the Legal Cooperation Cluster of the NTF-ELCAC. And now, ladies and gentlemen, mga kapatid po natin sa media, we will proceed to the open forum. Kindly signify your intention to ask questions so we may recognize you. Okay, we have one question with his hands raised from Rafael Bosano. Go ahead, Rafael. You're from ABS, no?
Hi, sir. Yes po. Good
All right,
afternoon.
thank you. Go ahead.
From ABS-CBN po. Ang tanong ko lang po, I just want to clarify kasi po, ang sinabi there was an interview with the National Union of People's Lawyers na sinasabi nila that a coerced affiant cannot commit perjury. Ang ninonote po nila ay yung mga lawyers din daw po ng PAO ay dumating, nagawa na yung affidavit, and that was clear naman po based on Attorney Persida Acosta's interview. Ang sinasabi rin po ng NUPL, hindi rin po represented yung mga bata during the interrogation or investigation. So who was present during the interrogation and handwriting of the affidavit? And also, how can the NTF-ELCAC prove talaga that they weren't coerced when there was no presence of a lawyer during the execution of the affidavit? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rafael. Yusek Jun, you may reiterate siguro yung presence ng parents.
Yeah, initially, dun sa handwritten version, the parents of Jed Tamano, they were there, no? Kasi 2 days silang nandoon, September 12, and then nung September 13, nung nandoon na yung PAO lawyer, I believe, as stated by Attorney Acosta, inisa-isa yung mga contents nung computer printed affidavits, and then pinirmahan ulit yon. So if Rafael is asking about the handwritten affidavit, no, asking who were around at that time. So at that time, kagaya na nabanggit ko kanina, certain Renante Bautista, yung pumirma dun sa baba. I believe he is the mayor of Angat in Bulacan. So yon, that is as far as I know, no, regarding the handwritten affidavit. Right. So maybe Attorney Cliff could yes, supply some legal yes, comments on the question of Rafael.
Thank you, Yusek. I have here a copy of the Public Attorney's Office press statement, and this statement enjoys the presumption of regularity because it was issued by the PAO in the regular performance of their duty. And I want to quote here a particular paragraph. Despite the handwritten statement, Attorney Bagay requested for a closed-door conference with Jonila and Jed without the presence and beyond the hearing distance of the members of the 70th Infantry Battalion. Before the conduct of the interview, Attorney Bagay sought permission from Jonila and Jed that he will video record their conversation, to which they acceded. Attorney Bagay then verified the accuracy of the handwritten statement and ensured that Jonila and Jed executed the same freely and voluntarily. Both Jonila and Jed affirmed their statement. Thereafter, Attorney Bagay prepared their sworn statement and administered the oath. A video was taken while their oath was being administered, and also present during the administration of the oaths are the parents of Jed Tamano. So we see here na malabo talaga yung sinasabi ng NUPL lawyers that there was coercion, intimidation, or even duress when Jonila and Jed executed yung sa kanilang affidavits. And also, I want to point out na between sa claims ng NUPL lawyers and the claims of our PAO lawyers, our government lawyers, the statements made by the government lawyers enjoy the presumption of regularity.